we were in what I would call a blue ocean, meaning we could kind of like play around and do what we wanted to do. And there wasn't a lot of competition. That's the nature of the reality of the situation. I say that there wasn't a lot, but there was, and people just don't remember this. Even when I'm getting a lot of credit for starting the first camps. I don't think I was one of the first, but back in the day, it was Comp Train, OPEX, and Rudy's thing. What was his? Outlaw. Right. So those were the original ones. Comp Train just happened to outlast those guys in this space a little bit. But then it became Comp Train, Invictus, and NorCal. And those were like the things. And then NorCal, and I don't want to say Invictus didn't, but Invictus put more effort into team stuff. I'll just say that. But CJ's still doing a great job. NorCal went into the affiliate side of things. And then it became more then, they kind of went away, and it became more like Comp Train, Brute, and probably.
And Mayhem was always there.
I was going to say Mayhem. This was when Mayhem started to come about. Was when, Rich was kind of like towards the end of his individual career and starting the team thing. Mayhem started to pop up. Then it became Mayhem stuck around. Brute is still in the game, but the bigger ones became, HWPO, Proven, those type of things. So.
And those two are so new that we don't even know if they're going to be flash in the pan.
So we just don't know. So I'm not saying that they will be. I think Matt's putting a lot of energy and effort into this. I think that he's doing a phenomenal job. Shane is a great games coach. I don't think Tia would be where she is today without Shane. So I think that I don't think that they'll be flashes in the pan. What we tried to do was
one bad tweet, Ben, and they're gone. One bad tweet.
What my vision was, because I saw where the sport was going, and this is 2019-ish, just before we had 2 silver place finishes, was let's go really deep into these individual athletes. Let's really do this thing. So instead of doing this with just Katrin here, we invited these athletes to move here. To help support the athletes through the move, we tried to help them. We gave them monthly stipends to help with pay. And to do that, we took on some money, and we went and we hired a CEO to help try to create an academy, and we really tried to make this thing really, really professional. When we did that, we lost our way a little bit. We lost the ethos of what we had been from day one. And we became a little bit corporate, and we became a little bit bottom line centric. When you're in the midst of it, you don't see it in real time. It takes some hindsight and perspective to realize where you are and what you're doing. And the sport also didn't grow in line with the vision and the plan that we had. So I thought right before COVID, I was like, this thing's going. Like, we were on this upward trajectory. Bigger brands were coming to the space, Monster and all this other stuff. And we were just early, and the sport flatlined, and we couldn't get as we were spinning to more like this growth. It wasn't us, and we couldn't support the athletes the way that we wanted to. So there's a misalignment of expectations and reality, and that's never a positive thing. And athletes left because it wasn't this academy thing that we were hoping to build. And I was getting torn between being a full-time coach and trying to get the business to be where the business needs to be to support an academy type situation. And This is why I've spun back into what is the best way we can do to move this thing forward the right way. And it's to find a blue ocean, which I think that we are doing a really good job in putting the right people in the right spots. And it's Cole taking over elite coaching. And it's me going back to turning the comp train business into what I believe it can and should be.
Thank you for sharing all that. Would you even use the word there was a cultural change during that hiccup?
100%.
Did this process wound you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wounded you.
Yeah.
The way you described it sounded like it wounded you.
Yeah. I want to be
like you got hurt. So,
I want to build something awesome.
Yeah.
I want to build something amazing. That's my dream. That's my litmus test. Am I proud of this thing? And when we went into growth mode, which was intentional and was a conscious decision, it was I had the conversation with Harry, the business partner. It was hey, do we want to keep this thing, this lifestyle business, which is awesome and amazing? And we both knew it at the time. And we sat down. I can remember the lunch that we had. We had this amazing...
Harry's the coach guy. Harry's the coach, right? Okay.
And he's the guy that helped me build this thing. And we had this conversation of, do we want to continue to do this as a lifestyle thing? Or do we want to moonshot this and go? And we were let's, I was we both decided we've built an amazing lifestyle business. Let's see if we can do this thing, because it's a challenge and we love challenges. So we went for it, and we hired a CEO, a CMO, a CFO, a head of business development. We hired the entire C-suite. We went from 6 employees to 19.
Wow.
In 6 months. And that's when things shifted. And today we're back to 6 employees. We have contractors.
That must be a crazy.
We're back to 6.
Are you ever going to tell that whole story in detail?
I feel like I'm doing it now, but I guess there's a lot of stuff between the lines.
You are doing it. Was it hard wrestling it back?
Did you say wrestling it?
Wrestling, yeah. I've always wanted to say it like that, instead of wrestling.
Yeah, it's super hard. Yeah, it's crazy. The hardest.
But you did get it back. Did you almost lose Comp Train?
Yep, probably. Yep.
Fuck, dude. Are you out the other side?
I don't think if you're running a business the right way, I don't think you should ever feel like you're out the other side. It's kind of
right.
It's
okay.
In 2017 was CrossFit out the other side. I think everyone would have gone, yup. Yup.
Right.
You know, Noble, is Noble out the other side? Everyone go, yup, just laid off 30%, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, and it's the same thing if you're an athlete. Should you ever go okay, we're there, we made it. Matt does that for 1 year and he's not the champion, a gazillion years in a row. So are we out the other side? No. I'm going to say no, and I hope that I never say yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Wow. That's a fucking journey you've had. Hey, were you able, that sounds really like you had a really stressful 2 years.
Yeah. And that's the difference to me, that's one of the big differences between lifestyle and growth. And I'm a guy that wants to be, my highest measure of success is on my deathbed, looking back, going, did I do everything the right way? Put my efforts, energy into the right things. And, in order to do that, you have to live a life in line with your values and principles. And my values and principles is build awesome teams, build awesome individuals, build an awesome community. And during that time, I think we moved away from that a little bit. So that was stressful. Yeah. So that was stressful.
Your story stressed me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your story fucking stressed me out.
But I'm so yeah.
There's this saying once
how
you hear
excited
someone,
how exciting am I for this next evolution, this next thing, because I couldn't believe, I couldn't imagine a more aligned brand, product, and community for what we're driving and striving to create right now. I don't know how else I can envision creating something that's exactly what I want to create.